Hi again, students, and a big hello everyone watching around the Philippines. I am Teacher Ron, your Technology Livelihood Education teacher.
Let us study TLE. Let us study, come with me. All of the knowledge and all of the skills will help you to be life ready. Will help you to be life ready.
Welcome to TLE 9. In today's episode, we will identify and familiarize ourselves with the 4 basic computer operations. So bring out your pen and paper and join me as we build your knowledge. Students, do you know how computer works? You might respond with something like this by simply turning on and off, waiting for how the screen display. But no, there's a lot of things that you need to know about TLE 9 computer performing operations. We have the input unit processing storage and output unit. Let's start with the input. As smart as computers are, they still need input from humans to provide data to process and to tell them what to do. Computers today accept input from a variety of devices. The two you are probably most familiar with include the keyboard and the mouse. Almost all modern computers have this device. Other common input devices I'm sure you are familiar with are scanners, microphones, and webcams. Students, I have another question. Which part is considered as the brain of a computer? Correct! That is CPU, the Central Processing Unit. Processing is done inside the computer in an area called the Central Processing Unit or CPU. Processing is the conversion of input on and output. Okay, the Central Processing Unit is the principal of any digital computer system, generally composed of the main memory, control unit, and arithmetic logic unit. In the modern computers, the CPU is contained in an integrated circuit chip called the microprocessor, being the brain of the computer. The CPU is where processes such as calculating, sorting, and searching take place. Whatever is done in our computer, such as checking emails, playing games, and doing homework, it is the CPU that processes the data we use. Under the Central Processing Unit, we have 2 essentials here, namely control unit and arithmetic logic unit. The control unit is the processor component that directs and coordinates most of the computer's operation. Control unit has a role much like a traffic police. It determines which instruction is executed next and interprets each instruction issued by a program and initiate the appropriate action to carry out the instruction. The arithmetic and logic unit, or ALU, is where the CPU performs the arithmetic and logic operations. Every test that your computer carries out is completed here. Even typing into a word processor involves adding binary digits to the file and then calculating which pixels on the screen should change so that you can see the characters. Comparison operations involve comparing one data item with another to determine whether the first item is more significant than, equal to, or less than the other object. For example, the arithmetic part deals with a calculation like 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. And the logic part, which deals with any logical comparison, like 2 is greater than 1. Do you sometimes complain why computer is slow? Maybe it has something to do with your computer. I'll give you some analogy to make you easier to understand. First is the clock speed that is measured by hertz, that is measured in cycles per second, and 1 cycle per second is known as 1 hertz. This means that a CPU with a clock speed of 2 GHz can carry out 2,000 millions 2 billion cycles per second. Next, we have the cores. A CPU is traditionally made up of processors with single core. A CPU with called a dual core processor is like having two processors in one. A dual core processor fetch and execute two instructions simultaneously. It takes a single core processor to fetch and execute just one instruction. A quad-core processor has 4 cores and can carry out even more instructions in the same time. Lastly, we have the cache. This is the tiny block of memory built right into the processor. This is used to store often used data or instructions. The bigger the cache is, the more quickly commonly used instructions and data can be brought in the processor and used. I am sure you remember this from our previous episodes. The memory unit consists of the RAM or random access memory, sometimes referred to as a primary or main memory. Unlike a hard drive or secondary memory, this memory is fast and directly accessible by the CPU. As mentioned, RAM is short for Random Access Memory. While it might sound mysterious, RAM is one of the most fundamental computing elements. RAM is a super fast and temporary data storage space that a computer needs to access right now or in the next few moments. RAM temporarily stores data and goes away when the power is off. The output is the exact opposite of the input. The input is the function that allows a computer to display information from the system for the user. This can be accomplished through the monitor, printer, and speakers. Let us put these operations into a practical form. For example, if you want to write an essay on a computer, you first click on the Microsoft Word program using the mouse and type your essay in the Word program using a keyboard. Then while typing, you can modify the font style and size, change the color, add pictures, and much more. And when it's finished, you then print it using a printer and save it into your hard disk drive for future use. Here, the mouse and keyboard are examples of the inputs which you use to enter data into the computer. The CPU is the processing unit that applies the changes you make to the document, and the printer is the output unit through which you obtain the result of the data you made earlier to the computer. And the storage is where you save it on your hard disk drive for future use. Students, let's have a quick review based on our topics. Well, let's start. Well, let's begin. Number 1, the processing unit of the clock speed is measured by what? The correct answer is letter B, Hertz. Number 2, which part of the processing unit is responsible for the direction and coordination of most computer operations? It's like the traffic police. The correct answer is letter D, control unit. Number 3, which of the following is considered an input device? The correct answer is letter D, all of the above. Number 4, which memory is considered as a temporary storage? The correct answer is B, random access memory. Number 5, which part of the computer is considered as the brain of the computer? The correct answer is letter C, the central processing unit. Number 6, this contains all the arithmetic and logical operations in the CPU. The correct answer is letter A, ALU, or arithmetic logic unit. Number 7, the fastest and the closest storage device to CPU is. The correct answer is cache. Number 8, this allows a computer to display information. The correct answer is letter B, output unit. Number 9. Which of the following is not an input unit device? The correct answer is letter C, projector. And lastly, number 10. A type of memory that is connected to the CPU which stores the most frequently or often used data or instruction. The correct answer is letter C, cache. Students, how many scores did you get? I'm sure you get high points. If not, well, it's okay. You can play this video again. Congratulations! Students, I do hope that you learned from our topic. Thank you. Students, let me know your answer or just send a message from my Facebook here in my account or just a message or you can post a video. Congratulations. Goodbye. I am Teacher Ron reminding you to never regret a day in your life. Good days to give happiness, bad days give experiences, worst days give lessons, and best days give memories. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.